One's an Ibanez RG with Quantum H pickups. It's like a mid-range guitar to pro, and then I have a Fender Telecaster Player Series in that old school case.
And
Fender. Yeah, I have a Fender Strat. I have a Fender Strat 96 Mexico edition. It's like purple body with black knobs and shit. It's all pimped out.
Nice.
And we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Let's do an intro.
Introduce ourselves.
Liberty or Death podcast with your host, Twisted Josh, where our motto is facts and common sense over your feelings. No. Why do you gotta say that for?
All right, and we're live. Dude.
That was loud.
Yeah, that's what
I like that intro.
Oh, you love it?
Yeah, it was badass.
Yeah, I did that like the beginning of the last year. That's why I did it. So yeah. All right.
Nice.
So does anybody want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right, I'll go first because I'm a woman.
Yeah, I will.
I said I was going.
Right. Go ahead.
I'm Kelly, the host of the Unbroken podcast. Josh, I am his second choice for this. That's what you said. You said if someone backs out. So
Yep, you're right.
I'm his second choice, and he is my social media husband.
Friend.
friend.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm Troublemaker Davey, and I am one half of the number one podcast on the internet, Business Party Podcast, along with my business partner and life partner, Biz, aka Scott.
Yeah, I am second co-host of Biggest Business Party Podcast, and we started being the co-host. Was about it almost a year? No,
May.
7-8 months ago now, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So catch us on YouTube and Rumble, and we are on Spotify as well.
We go live Wednesdays at 7:00, and we're probably we're gonna do more live shows. We met on TikTok. Scott put out there, anybody want to do a podcast? And I said, yeah, let's do a podcast. And now we host the number one show on the internet, Business Party Podcast. I don't care what you say, Kelly.
How many subscribers do you have?
Listen,
Woo!
I'm not going to be mean. I was going to be mean. Hi, Jackie.
What's up?
You can be mean.
What's
It's
up?
fine. I can handle it.
You talk to people who are stuck in closets, okay?
No.
What?
I told you. Listen, I told you. You should have known what you were getting into. I told you, listen to our podcast and watch our podcast and see what we do, because this.
You already scared everyone out of my TikTok live. I mean, let's have some sensitivity. I talked to
Good job.
survivors. My sister just came in.
Hi, sister.
What's going on?
Lynn is her name.
Lynn? Is that the blue dolphin?
Yeah, that's my sissy.
I talked to the dolphins. The dolphin go, okay. By the way, that is my favorite movie ever, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
I can't tell at all.
No, I've
yeah.
quoted it like 7 times already. Oh, man. Josh, why don't you tell the folks about yourself? Because this is your first podcast, isn't it, buddy?
Yep. First and foremost, welcome everybody. I'm your host, Twisted Josh. I came off of TikTok. I actually like to think TikTok, which is a trash app anyway. But anyway, neither here or there. But so I met everybody off of TikTok. So good times. As Business Party Podcast, if they would, on a fly if they join. And yeah, there you go. And they said yes, which my stomach, when you guys said yes, I was like, oh crap. That's nice because I didn't expect you guys to say yes, though. To be honest,
We're podcast whores. Do you want yes?
Yeah.
Before you finish the sentence, it was. Do you want to watch
Ready
my?
to spread the craziness.
Yeah.
It can be. Do you want to wash my car? I just say, yeah. Oh no, I don't want to do that. What? I'm on my lawn? No, not gonna do that.
Will you walk my zebras?
Oh man, dude, that was so cool to see. I saw zebras in the middle of Kansas. I was like, holy crap, there's zebras. I didn't know zebras can exist in Kansas. Yeah. I've been very sheltered my entire life. I was kept in the New York metro area. So the only animals I saw lived in Philadelphia and Camden.
I'm surprised you knew it was a zebra.
Don't hate on Philly.
Like, what the fuck is that?
What are you gonna do to go down to World War, get some water ices and some coffee?
You're not even saying it right.
What? How do I say it?
Water.
Water.
Water ice. You get a hoagie?
Oh, shit.
And it's Italian ice, water ice, coffee. It's a big deal, dude.
It's funny because I'm moving out here. I'm the one with the accent, so it's like it's like they're like I said what did I say? I said stairs. So I say stairs, and they go, where? Where are you going? Up the stairs. What are stairs?
Stairs.
I'm like, I was like, are you guys gonna do the roof? And they're like, what the fuck is that? Or the crick?
I call it. I play around and call it a crick.
Yeah.
Also, my wife goes, "It's not a crick, it's a creek." My wife's so proper.
Wow.
So, Josh, what do we got for today?
All right. Title is we're gonna be talking about context. You know how about a month ago I was thinking that why I don't why I do a podcast on liberals. So it ended up being what happened there? Hold on, dude. We're having some technical difficulties, folks.
Technicalities.
Technicalities.
Yeah,
dude.
Nick Nolte.
If Nick Nolte named his son Tech, that would have been the greatest name ever.
Yeah, forget
Fuck
it.
Northwest, Southwest.
Rapper Nick. I am Technic Nolte.
Better than Chet Hanks.
Ultimate SoundCloud rapper ever.
There you go.
Better than Boomclat. Yeah, man. Chet Hanks on the ones and twos. Oh my god.
You are wild.
Man, can you guys do me a favor and show the and show those videos, please, if you don't mind?
Which ones?
Give me a second. You know what? Let me try it from this computer here. So how cold is you?
So much
Are
technology.
you guys over there? Yeah.
Listen, the weather out here is so bipolar. It's not even funny. Like literally, it's 50 degrees today, tomorrow, and then Sunday it's 20. It is the oddest, craziest thing I've ever been used to.
It sounds like being in Florida.
Well, I mean, what? Florida gets to what?
Like 32.
Florida gets to like what? 30 degrees, and they call it.
No, they've gotten colder. It got down in the 20s when I lived there.
Global warming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that.
All right, Josh, if you just want to, is that what you want to show, the California University thing?
That too. I mean, we can go ahead and no, but put it off on pull it up on YouTube if you don't mind, boss, please.
What do you want? What do you?
Okay. The difference between classic liberalism and social liberalism.
Let's go to YouTube.
Oh, we lost one.
Classic liberal versus modern liberalism. Here we go.
All right. Classic liberal and social liberalism.
Yeah, I got that, but like,
I mean,
No, you
whichever
put
one.
modern.
You put modern. Yeah.
He's back.
Where did Scott go?
He's back.
Oh, okay.
Classic liberalism versus what is it again?
Social.
Social.
I had a technicality.
There you go.
All right. Which one would you like?
Yeah, either one. Either one, man.
All right, we'll go with that's
Yeah.
3 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Try to go with something that's closer to.
3 or 2 years ago would be fine because they'll start talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with social democracy.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
let's go with this one. Oh,
No sound.
Are two different.
There we go.
Classical liberalism and social liberalism are two different things. Liberalism as a political concept originated from the Age of Enlightenment in the 1700s in Europe, and it led to the birth of the United States of America. What we know today as classical liberalism emerged and focused on individualism, natural law, and civil liberties, as well as free market economics through capitalism, as well as other things like property rights, self-defense, freedom of speech, religion and assembly, freedom of the press, right to privacy and due process, etc. By the late 1800s and through the early 1900s, we started to see the advent of what we now know today as social liberalism, where the goal is to find a balance between individual liberty and social justice. Social liberalism isn't a subset of classical liberalism. It's a progression of some values over other values. These have changed over time based on circumstances and experiences, thanks to the industrial ages all the way through the information age of today. There's an expansion of what we know of as civil rights. More rights were seen as necessary for the people, like the right to economic welfare, public education, and healthcare. In particular, the creation of things like the Federal Reserve, the occurrence of the Great Depression, as well as 2 world wars, and the advent of National Socialism and communism helped to create the shift towards social liberalism. No longer was liberty as a political concept purely about negative rights, i.e. rights that you have which require no actions from others. Political liberty was about positive rights, which do require action from others. The goal of social liberals was to use government to combat poverty, joblessness, illiteracy, illness, and disability, as well as to enforce or regulate matters such as equality based on race, gender, same-sex marriage, etc. Social liberals want higher income taxes to pay for these additional government services and seek to pass more laws to protect people along various lines and use the courts to interpret accordingly, as well as use the police and the military to enforce these things. From there, what emerged were things like Social Security, public schools, and Medicare, and various government departments over these things. So let me be clear here. I'm not saying that classical and social liberals share no values. I'm not saying these people disagree on everything, or that these are completely antithetical belief systems. What I am saying is that classical liberals and social liberals can agree on many of the same things, just not the way the goals are achieved. And that's what distinguishes these two. For example, classical liberals also believe in combating many of the things that social liberals do, but the method of doing so is different. Private charity, private education, private hospitals are all used, among other things, to promote competition and voluntary goodwill towards others. Government is seen as the problem, not the solution, and there's a resistance to governmentalism and corporatism. So what we see now is that classical liberals are conservatives today, just as social liberals are liberals today. So why do you think that social liberals on the left disagree with classical liberals on the right? One reason is because the two types of liberals are not exactly the same in terms of economics. Classical liberals are more for capitalism, whereas social liberals are more for socialism. It's unavoidable. If there was one thing to distinguish between these two political ideologies, economics is certainly that thing. And I'm going to cover that in my next video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.
I don't trust him. His name is Disc Golf. Nick Carroll, Disc Golf. Anybody who plays disc golf, I don't agree with. But I guess the classic liberal kind of sounds like a libertarian now.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't sound like the modern liberal, just
Right. Well, because classic liberal was more about individual rights, yes, and property ownership and whatnot. Like basically more about like how America, what it was for, but in like a progressive manner. But they didn't believe that also that the Constitution was a living document, like to be changed and breathing, like how these new age liberals do. Well, and that's another funny thing that I don't know if I can share my screen real quick. Yeah, because I wanted to look up the actual word liberal, which is funny whenever you read it. No, oh, there we go. Here, let me see. Yeah, willing to
Oh,
respect
yeah.
or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas. Well, new age liberals, you guys might want to read that before you call yourself a liberal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Survey says.
Yeah.
You know, like
I like on the corner it says fascism. It's just
yeah.
like liberal fascism. What?
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, classic liberals, men don't have wieners. I think that's what the basis is of it.
Theoretically or like literally?
Literally.
No, literally. No, literally.
Literally. Yeah.
Listen, there's a lot of liberal women, or not, what is it, conservative women with bigger balls than some of these liberal men now.
Oh, absolutely.
There
Yeah.
are some of these
Yeah.
women with bigger balls, and it's just like, and it's kind of sad, you know. And I was watching a Vice, because I like to anger myself. I was watching a Vice short about masculinity and what makes a man masculine.
Oh, I wonder what that was. I wonder what that had to say, man.
Just, you know, and they and you watch them nowadays, just like well, they just fight to be. It's a fight to be oppressed, or it's the oppression Olympics basically. It's like
Right.
who's more hurt by what's going on, and it's like that's not what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that.
Well, that's like also what, like he said, it's socialism is one of the main things that separates the two, but it's like this cultural Marxism that's happening to where it's like, yeah, all the oppression is happening in order to conquer and divide and make you think that one group is way worse than the other or something else that's just comes along with all that.
So, do you guys think? You guys think that America is like a Marxist / Leninism
That's what people
It's
want.
right now?
It's heading that way.
In
that's for
the
sure.
In theory,
in the universities, I would say Marxism heavy, yes. Like, because it's kind of the indoctrination camp, you know, like where it's really starting, and they're trying to move it more into high schools and everything else. I mean, we see all these teachers that are showing themselves off on TikTok, all happy, like I'm going to indoctrinate your kids and all this shit, and we're not going to see it. I mean, that's why libs of TikTok exists, basically, you know, to show all
Yeah.
their bullshit.
Well, it's
Well,
funny
it's-
that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I did an episode with my daughter, and a lot of her friends went to my TikTok and were confused why I have the Support the Trevor Project when I'm considered conservative libertarian. And it's like I can support an organization that supports my daughters with like I don't have to not like them just because I'm not liberal. But
Right.
it's like I've noticed with my daughter, she'll be 20 in 2 weeks. The further away she gets from high school, the less liberal she talks.
Right.
Was she in college?
Which can happen.
No,
It
not yet.
should.
Oh well, that's why.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like if she was in college, I'm sure that wouldn't have happened. But it's like, I mean, she just voted for the first time, but like paying taxes and everything. And it's like the further away she gets, the less liberal she sounds. And I'm just like, God, how much indoctrination is happening in these schools? Like, I'm so glad I homeschool my son, because I mean that kid shits the Constitution. He loves it.
There you go.
My son too.
Well, he even
Oh,
like
Davey.
when they were talking about like gun control laws and everything, they were talking about a waiting period, and he's just like, okay, but why does I mean, that just means it's going to happen in 30 days if they have to wait 30 days. I'm like, did you just figure that out? And you're like 9? Well, he was 8 at the time, but it's like the kids in school, they're being taught these things, but it's not that they're being taught it. It's they're not being taught anything else.
Right.
Well, it's also funny that like you have these people who have the mind frame of, you know, global warming, yet there's video after video of teachers.
I'm sorry, it's climate change now. It's not global warming anymore.
Did you just call me a cis male? Because
I'm just saying they changed it because it gets too cold out to be global warming now.
Now it's just climate change.
Yeah, these people who believe in that nonsense, which, listen, is it gonna? Yeah, because we go, if you follow history, we go through warming and cooling phases throughout history. You know, we had an ice age, we're
still in an ice age right now.
Yeah. So they'll believe that. Yet if you watch a video of a teacher telling their kids certain things, that's not what the teacher meant. That's not what the teacher. The teacher didn't really do that. The books that these kids they're pushing on these kids now and everything, like, well, you know, they're just doing that. No. So you're telling me you believe that the Earth is warming because of all of us, yet you won't, with barely any science to back it up, but you'll believe, but you won't believe, but you believe that a teacher is not really teaching kids, you know, maybe to be a certain way.
Right, like they're
when
not
there's videos,
like they're not totally trying to groom these kids, which they are.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the thing that gets me is like, yes, it is grooming because they're telling, don't tell your parents, like they're telling them to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And that is the exact definition of grooming. But it's like, whenever there's anything that happens, it's like with these insane drag queen shows, which I love them. I've been to multiple ones, but it is not child appropriate. It's literally the same thing as bringing a kid into a strip club. But they're like, they always bring up like the Catholic Church or like priests and things. And they're like, why aren't we focusing on them? Because like, they're not grooming the kids. The priests are grooming kids. It's like, all can be true at the same time.
Right.
But like, why are you supporting kids being brought somewhere where they're putting a dollar bill in somebody's G-string?
Well,
or worse.
Exactly. One, like, it's like the main thing to me is like, how can they not see that one is a hypersexualized situation and one is not? Yeah, you may not like what's happening at the church and everything else, but at least they're trying to teach. Mostly, they're trying to teach something good. Okay, that's like the bare minimum facts. Taking them to a drag show is a hypersexualized situation, the way that people like to be. That is not a kid's area to be.
Well, and that's like when I go to church, I'm not going there for my child to get sexually assaulted or see sexually inappropriate stuff.
Right.
But at the drag shows, you can't say that because you know that stuff is happening at it.
Right.
You never take your kids to a Hooters?
Yeah, I know. When people say that in the mic, no.
They don't have any here, but...
Because it's fucking weird.
Yeah. Man, I can't take my wife to that, man. She'll kill me, even if I go by myself.
I'm sorry, Josh.
But
just come here. I'll take you to Hooters.
Quilted kilt is better. But anyway, here's the thing: is the people on that side, they don't listen. And that's the part I hate the most is like they don't listen. Like people have spoken out about this. Like people, like, I don't care if it's a church or it's a drag show. Don't do it to kids or we'll come find you. I don't care what it is, but they don't listen to that. They're just focused on, you bring your kids to church, don't you? So you're aiding and abetting it. No, we're not. We don't like that either. And if we find out that's happening, then there's a problem. But the problem is the church hides these people
Right. Yeah, they want to feel good about what they're into and far less stigmatized, so they don't
Oh
feel like
yeah,
freaky
definitely.
weirdos anymore. Yeah, I mean
Yep.
that is like where they go with it, but then it's like then we start to mention the slippery slope, and they were like, "Oh, the slippery slope doesn't exist." Well, then it's already been slipped on. Okay, you went down the fucking hill because now we
Mhm.
are all speaking up about it, and you even have some people in those communities speaking up about it too, which is good.
But
It's good to know.
and
And
it's
they
funny.
even, I was just gonna say, they even have people coming out as trans age now. I don't know
Oh
if
my
that's
yeah,
like a
What is that?
legit thing. It's where people identify as a younger age. I
yeah,
don't know how real that is or if there's someone behind it
Oh,
making fun of them, but I've seen multiple things on Twitter about trans age.
yeah.
And then
They
you have the maps
right.
that want to, the minor attracted person, and we can't stigmatize pedophiles, and it's just, it is the slippery slope, and they've been going down it for a very long time, like
Right.
since before Obama was in office, and a lot of people were warning them, but they didn't want to listen because I almost feel like they don't want to offend them and they're afraid to offend them, and it's just the kids are the ones that are getting hit in the crossfire, so to speak.
Right. Yep.
Well, it's like Yuri Bezmenov said, you just keep you start you go work from the inside out, and you start with the children, and you start to
Yeah.
show the kids, this is not bad. Oh, if somebody says this is why, when people were calling people Nazis and all that stuff, and it's just like, and then, oh well, your dad doesn't want you to do this. Well, your dad, he's a Trump supporter. Well, he might be a Nazi. So, you shouldn't tell
Right.
your dad this. You shouldn't tell your parents that you want to transition. You shouldn't tell your parents what you're doing. And then it's just like, and then it's slowly like the kid starts to go, maybe I shouldn't tell my parents. And then, well, maybe you might be a girl. Don't tell your dad you might be a girl.
Oh yeah, and
People like
and
this.
you can attribute a lot of this all back to whenever I first started hearing about safe spaces being in college, universities and shit. When I heard that coming, I was like, "Oh man, a whole generation is fucked."
exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
Like, safe,
exactly.
like, is this we're picking segregation now? Like, that's what
Yep.
we're doing.
Basically, yeah,
We're
basically.
going, hey, remember that thing we all hated? Let's do that again. But this time, we took the power back, so we're gonna segregate ourselves.
yeah, like
We're gonna have our own drinking fountains, and we're gonna have our own places to eat, and we're gonna. Wait, what? Oh, we can't go into there. That's a white establishment. Oh, well, how did racist? You did it. You
right.
did it, you moron. How do we walk onto these trains? Well,
Yeah.
that gets on the trains, and you got something trains.
Right. Yep.
It's. I just don't get it. I don't get it, and it sucks to be unplugged from the Matrix. It really does. I just want a steak to taste like a steak again.
Why do you think I play so many video games right now?
know.
Because
This is why I watch anime. I'm watching an anime about a boy band right now. It's wild.
I make TikToks or Instagrams,
there you go. Yeah.
and
Did you
then
see
play
that?
some Call of Duty.
Did you see that last comment by Jackie? There's a man in his 40s that was adopted by a couple because he claims he was 7. He was a 7-year-old.
Yeah,
girl.
that's the one I was talking about.
That is
And he said
so
he
weird.
it was something about because he didn't have a childhood or something. I can't remember the entire story, but yeah, he but it is such a slippery slope, and it's like, when are they going to do something about it? Like, are they just going to continue to let it happen, and then when the kids are actually being hurt by all of this, then be like, oh well, it's the MAGA Republicans' fault.
Right.
They did this.
They're doing that already. They're blaming MAGA Republicans on the whatchamacallit, on the inflation. They're like, well, if the MAGA Republicans didn't spend $2 trillion, and I'm like, yo, you all voted for it.
Exactly.
You all went, you went, well, Trump better give everybody money, or else, he doesn't care about the people. So he voted and said, okay, no problem, we'll give this. And now all of a sudden the MAGA Republicans are how does get $2 trillion? It's like, dude, I don't. Are you people listening to yourselves? And
Well,
people buy this shit.
It's funny because like everything good that one president does is because of the previous president, and everything bad that a president does is because of the previous president. Like, they
Right.
never take blame for anything, and that's on both sides of the fence.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, exactly.
It's
Oh, yeah.
like everything bad happening now on one side is Joe Biden's fault. On the other side, it's Trump's fault. But it's like some of the things that happened during Trump's term, like that was done by somebody else. Like even
Right.
like with the whole incandescent light bulbs, they blame Obama for it, but it was really Bush that started that whole process. But it's like most people, they don't know exactly how or where to look for bills and things like that. And they just take what they hear on the news and take that to be fact, and it's not. Like even with all the Supreme Court decisions that were dropped, like me and my husband were freaking nerds. I would sit in here in the office and he would sit out in the living room. We'd set our alarms and we'd watch the decisions as they dropped. But it's like they would read the dissenting opinion and the news would put out the dissenting opinion. That is, it means nothing. It's just someone's opinion.
Right.
Like that's not what the decision was. So it's like they don't even know to go to the Supreme Court's website and where to even find anything. And it's like the media is just so driven to divide us that all they reported on, it was I can't remember the name of the case, but it was that's my husband.
Plessy versus Ferguson. Wasn't it about the gays? That's all they.
No, it was the one about the border, saying that you don't have a Fourth Amendment right within 100 miles of the border, but that had nothing to do with the decision.
Yeah,
that was a dissenting opinion put out by Sotomayor, but everybody went with that, and I'm just like, did you even read the case? Because this guy was a confidential informant for Border Patrol, promised safe passage through the country to people that are here illegally. Like, you're supposed to support those people. Why aren't you mad this guy's making tens of thousands of dollars by telling people, hey, I've got your back, bringing them to his hotel, and then calling Border Patrol out there? And he told the Border Patrol agent that he was going to be transporting someone. That's why he was searched. And the entire case was about if he could sue the agent, but there's legislation in place. He did that. It didn't turn out the way he wanted, so he took it to the Supreme Court so he could sue for damages. And it's like, all you hear is a dissenting opinion that has nothing to do with the case at all, nothing to do with the decision. So it's like, that's what's so frustrating, is like, the truth is there. It's right in your face on supremecourt.gov. Go to it, read the decision, but they can't do that because everything's just so emotionally charged.
No, very true. That is one of the main things. Like what you just said at the end too. They can't go there and read it. That seems to happen left and right with so many things. It goes off of quick article, headline read. I say this, I see this, I get angry.
Exactly.
Nobody reads past the first paragraph.
No, not really.
Most of the time, they don't even read past a headline.
Exactly.
But I mean,
the bullet points.
And the right does it too. I mean, the conservatives, Republicans, whatever, they do it just as much as the other side. But
I've been seeing a lot lately, especially quite a few on the right. Like there'll be these fake articles that come out, and then I see that article and I go look real quick on a couple of search engines, and I find it's nothing but fake. And I'm like, guys, come on, man. It took me 5 minutes.
Yeah, what's it? One of the Twitter accounts, RNC something, their verified account, they always put out some stuff, and you go look it up, and it's like, guys, that's not what it said.
Right.
And display calls to action. What are you calling? You calling action? Stand back and stand by. But yeah, nobody reads, and that's my thing, is like, I'm a big proponent of read the bill. Read the bills. People do the same thing. They just listen to the headline. They listen to, the news, and they're like, the news will be like, well, the Republicans don't support the troops because they voted against this bill. And it's like, did you read the bill? Oh, it was just a little change. Yeah, but a little change could mean a lot.
Yeah, and
it went from they might have to spend $400 billion to they now have to spend $400 billion.
Right, on some bullshit that has nothing to do with that bill, and it's on like page 700 out of 1,000 that got sent to them like fucking 7 hours
like
before they have to sign
22,000.
Right. Yeah, it gets ridiculous. I think what was it? The last one Rand Paul was talking about, it was like 4,200 pages that they got.
4,700. Yeah.
Yeah, they got like a day before. It's like, dude, You'd
I
have to
don't
sit
even
there
think
for
it was
5
an
days.
entire day. I think it was like 12 hours.
Right, something like that. And he was breaking it down as he was like, if I was reading this every day for my work day, it would take me 5 days probably to get through probably about most of it. Like, come on.
Yeah, they don't read it. They just sign. They just go, okay, this is what it says. They just summarize it. They give the cliff notes. How are you going to get a cliff notes to spend trillions of dollars of us? And I'll tell you why. They don't give a shit.
They don't care, yeah.
It's not their money. Just like when you sue the government, like people are like, oh, I'm going to sue the police department. You know who you're suing? The taxpayer.
Yeah, good luck.
They're not liable. You know, the individual mayor, the councilman, they're not on the tab for that. No, it's the taxpayer. So when you sue the town, you sue the cops, you sue this, you're paying for it, no matter what. You know, and yeah, did the single ash? No, I don't know. Single issue bill passed, but yeah, bills shouldn't be more than 20 pages.
Yeah, 20 pages or so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because what really started me on that was when the first COVID bill came out, and everybody was like, "No, it's going to cause this, it's going to cause that." I'm like, "What? You know, how? How is it going to cause this? How is it?" And then I started reading it, and I'm like, "They're giving $20 million to the Liberty Space Center, like for what reason?" And
For what?
Okay, I just want to add though, with the one that they just passed, what in the actual fuck is a bee-friendly highway? Because they put billions of dollars towards it. Like, what is that? Like, all
Yeah,
I can
right.
like when I read that, I think about the woman on the radio complaining about the deer crossing signs being on the highway, and we should put them closer to the school zones because it's safer to cross there. Like, what is a bee-friendly highway?
That's the highway.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
That's the highway from your paycheck to their pocket. That's what the bee-friendly highway is. That's all it is. It's just a oh, we'll tax this, and then, you know, we'll give this portion of them, and then, you know what, these people will donate to our campaign the X amount of dollars, and that's all it is. That's what they were just talking about that a couple weeks ago. Bill and Melinda Gates Bill Gates donated $5 billion, the biggest donation ever to a charity that's ever been made. Do you want to guess where Bill Gates donated his $5 billion to?
Cloning people.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yes.
No.
Yep. Donated $5 billion to his own.
It's like that Spider-Man meme, the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
But this is what people do, and people don't read nothing. People don't read any of this stuff. I watch all this stuff, and I try to read as much as I can about this stuff, because I try to read past the first paragraph, because of course in the last paragraph they'll usually put, well, you know, all this could not be possible, but we thought maybe it is, so we put it in the article.
Yeah.
So the article is an opinion piece. So there's no.
And they're getting bigger and bigger, the opinion pieces, and people are using them. And it's like, I have a WordPress account, and you can make it look so legit on WordPress, and people are sending me stuff as like to cite their sources. I'm like, you know, this is like a WordPress. I could do the exact opposite in about 20 seconds.
Right.
Well, and then there was another thing my wife put on her Facebook, was just like, he was a 29-year-old kid, and he's like, you know, the internet is the worst thing ever, because you can look something up and it'll give you whatever you want. And he's like, watch this. I'll Google, will coffee make you have bad eyesight? And then it said, from the blah, blah, blah Institute, coffee makes your eyesight bad because blah, 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 blah. And then he put, will coffee enhance your eyesight? From the blah, blah, blah Institute, coffee will make your eyesight even better. It's like,
coffee will make you fucking Superman.
So you can
It's only if it comes from Starbucks.
Listen,
it's a diuretic, man. It's a diuretic.
You get diabetes.
Lots of fiber.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
man. But yeah, you can basically whatever you want to do on the internet and get your view. You know,
you can find it.
It is, yeah. It is whatever you want to Google. It'll tell you what you want, and
Right. That's
people
I
can
think that's
fight.
one thing that's lacking big time too in this age of knowledge, as we say, where you have it all at your fingertips. One thing that's lacking is discernment because people don't really use it. They just run with what they find and don't really look into other sources toward a lot of things, which I mean everyone's been guilty of it, but it's like these today's day and age, yeah, the discernment is needed.
Oh, my
Exactly.
favorite is when I'm like, where did you hear that? And they send me a link to a TikTok video. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's your
Mike.
source, TikTok, really?
Yeah, it's basically it was trust me, bro. Like,
But it's even worse than that because it's like, oh, where'd you hear that? From CNN. Oh, CNN's not a news group. Where'd you hear that? Fox News. Fox News is not a news group. It's like, so you pick whatever you want to
See,
listen to, and then you go, well, that's not a legitimate news
see,
source.
I like this. Tired of the ominous bills. Constitutionally, if people had read the bills out loud, the Parliament would have a field day.
That's my son's godfather.
Oh, nice, cool. I would like that actually if they actually took the bill and had to read it out loud to everybody, so then other people could be like, "Boo, this man," you know.
Well, and it's, I mean, if you look at the votes for Speaker of the House, I wish every bill was done like that when they would vote on it, because I mean, that was like a 3-day nightmare. And I swear to God, if I hear McCarthy or Jeffries again, I'm going to lose my mind. But that's how Congress should be doing these bills, arguing them on live TV so we can see it, because it's for us. Yep. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was a congressman I think it was Virginia. He said there was like this whole huge bill that he voted against for a whole number of reasons. But somewhere in there was something about funding for veteran suicides and prevention for that. So the media is like, he's against veteran suicides and saving our veterans. And then he's like, I thought I would have voted for it, but I voted against it for all these other reasons. So if they're down on the Congress floor and talking about it and arguing it out loud, then we'll know who's voting for what.
Right, that is how it should work. Like that one guy, I can't remember his name, but he said that people around the world are watching right now and thinking this is how our government works. Well, guess what? It doesn't, even though this is how it should work. Because they should be out there actually doing their fucking job that we pay them to do. And yes, represent us. Fucking argue about these bills and make sure they go through as the people want, not just get passed through as fucking Pelosi does and like, well, we got to pass it and see what it says. Like, no.
I know. And also we're going to put this bill out so you can see which Republicans are voting no. And the Republicans do it too.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not a game. Like, why are you playing games with our money?
Exactly. It's like, look, bro, we're already going to look at that. Just shut up and tell us what's in the bill beforehand. Everyone's going to look and see who voted, who didn't. That's a given.
Yeah. But it's like, these are the people that are supposed to be representing us, and they're just playing games.
Yeah.
But like that's like I said, like I loved the Speaker of the House thing because it was like 4 or 5 days just going on, and you could see like what was going on. Like every bill needs to be done that way so the American people can see it and see how each side is and hear the arguments. Some of them are done, but nobody actually goes on and watches them. Like, I think it was you, Josh, was I telling you about, like, have you ever watched a Judiciary Committee and seen that they open up flip phones instead of smartphones?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's it. Like you said, you had never seen it. I've watched dozens, if not hundreds of them, but I'm a nerd. I love how our government works and I love watching that stuff. But it's like, how many people actually sit and watch these confirmation hearings, watch these judiciary hearings and all of this stuff? Nobody does. They just wait till the news tells them. And then the Republicans or the conservatives think they're all high and mighty because they're so like open-eyed and have fought cognitive dissonance. And it's like, you are just following a conservative news source. You are no different than they are because you're not actually watching this stuff. Like that wasn't even said, or it wasn't said in that context. Like you have to go watch the hearing. So it's like both sides are guilty of it, but both sides are yelling at people for it. And it's just like, shut up and just watch it or read it.
You mean like that crybaby Adam Schiff who got thrown off the Judiciary Committee and was like,
That is
like,
the
bro,
best video on TikTok right now.
bro, you lied, like literally lied, and you made up what Trump said during one of his impeachments, and everybody was like, dude, you just lied. And he's like, oh well. And like I was watching the impeachment, and like it was funny because I despise Jamie Raskin.
No,
and that other douche from Connecticut with the dead nails.
Durbin?
Is it?
No.
No, yeah, I don't like Durbin either. Hi, Savannah.
What's up, Savannah?
But like literally, Jamie Raskin was saying things, and Trump's lawyers are like, that's false, right? There's a video we just watched. Well, this is not the way it works in the judiciary. It's different. We could just say whatever we want. And I'm like, no, you can't. You can't just make shit up and just be like, well, that's what happened. That's not what happened.
The ATF certainly thinks they can fucking just make shit up.
There's nothing more magical than the head of the Russian collusion investigation being arrested for having ties with Russia. I'm like, oh God, you can't make this shit up.
Well, that's like what the Bongino and all them keep saying. Like anytime they start projecting shit and putting it on toward other people, it's usually what they are fucking doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. It's a given. Yep.
Josh, you got anything to say about this?
Yeah. Oh no, man, it's all good, man. It's all good.
You just hijacked the show. Welcome to the business party, live or die.
There you go. Hey, no, these are your hosts. No, it's all good, brothers.
Listen, I remember our first podcast, and I was like, and then now I'm just like, Dave, shut up. Dave, shut up. Somebody else talk.
That's why I do it by myself, because I can control everything.
But I can't do it by myself because I can't think of it. Scott always throws some things, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and then my brain just goes bing, and then next thing I know, I'm like off on a tangent, and then he goes, and then this and this and this, and I go, oh yeah, and then bing.
Well, that's why we work together as AD and HD.
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah,
man, but how did we get here, man? That's a question that I have. I mean, shoot. I mean, going back to where we were raised, you know what I'm saying? We, grew up, hey, be a father to your kids, et cetera, et cetera. Like basically, let's all sing, let's all sing Kumbaya kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And then like mid to late 2000s, we started getting blah, 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 X, Y, Z. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, where did all this crap come from, man?
Well, because a lot of it started. I mean, listen, I don't want to blame Obama because it's always been. If you watch like the OJ trial, there was a lot of hostility back then. The LA riots, Rodney King,
right?
All that. But for the most part, a lot of people were kind of, I guess, like in like they were in agreement in a lot of stuff, except when OJ got let off. There was a lot of white people mad. A lot of black people were like, yeah, go get him.
God, I was in like 5th grade when that happened. I can remember sitting in my classroom watching the verdict.
I remember watching the Bronco chase on my parents'
yeah.
that they had. I was like, what's going on?
And it's a great meme for the Broncos.
Oh, God,
The last good run by a Bronco.
That awesome when there's like new Broncos coming out and it shows OJ's on that face and that guy with the meme with the hands.
I actually did see a picture. I think it was on Twitter on a white Bronco, and someone's like their license plate was like, "I'm not OJ."
The internet is great sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, you make a mistake on the internet and they will kick.
Oh, that cop chick found that out.
Oh, yeah, she did. Oh, yeah, she did. That Tennessee cop that was ran through her whole department.
She ain't living that down ever.
Oh, ever.
I mean, it was kind of fucked up what they did to her, though, putting trains as pictures on the police department's Google
Yeah, that was
page.
pretty fucked up. It's funny, but it's fucked up.
Oh.
Ooh, all right.
Dude, that's
Let's move. Wait, we have to move on because I know how
Yeah.
sexually inappropriate y'all are. That's why I don't. That's why I don't play our voice chat in public.
It's
Like
funny.
I just hear my phone dinging. I'm like, I'm not doing it, guys. Not. I'm in Walmart. Mm-mm.
I mean, it's perfect in Walmart. You can't get embarrassed there.
Yeah, exactly.
I go to Walmart and I'm just like, I'm probably the best dressed right now.
I can't get embarrassed. I'm already here. Like,
Yeah, I go to Target. Boy, if I'm not in Sunday best in Target, they look at me like, Muffy, why is this present here? But yeah, I mean, even the woke on TikTok are just nuts.
oh
The
yeah.
woke people on TikTok are just crazy insane. And when you bring like things to them and show them things, like there's this one lady, she just
Josh,
sits
calm
there.
down. You're tapping.
Oh, we can hear it, Josh. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, that can
Relax, Michael J. Fox.
There you go.
No.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, I mean, the one girl, this lady, she just sits there on her phone like this, and you could tell she was that lady that like, I'm taking you off my friend's wall. This is not how it works. This is not how any of this works. And she sits there and she's complaining, Trump's gonna. I've never seen so many people happy about a president or somebody getting arrested. Like he literally personally did something to these people. Like personally, like I just, these people are just happy and it's just like, dude, why what did he do to you specifically? And then they're like, well, did you see the country? It's like, you cannot blame this man for 4 years when this has been going on forever.
Mm-hmm.
People have been going on at each other forever. And the woke stuff, the majority of this woke stuff happened when social media started to get big. That's when a lot of this happened, because you have people who, for lack of a better word, shouldn't have their own opinions put out there, having their own opinions put out there, and then you start to get this snowball effect of, well, maybe it's okay if a girl has a wiener. It's okay, right? And you get another person go, yeah, it's okay. And then the next person goes, yeah, it's okay. And then one person goes, mate, no, that's not okay. You're a bigot. That's it. You're racist, you're xenophobe. And it's like, wait a minute, and then all of a sudden everybody jumps in, and then when people start to go, well, no, this is the way it's supposed to be. Here's the science, and they go, you're kicked off, you're done. You can't play here no more.
Well, I actually lost one of my TikTok accounts, and it was like from the opposite side, and it was about the transgender bathrooms, and they were going on about how it's going to increase sexual assault with women, with men being able to use the women's bathroom. And I have the opposite opinion. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I want to use the men's room because there's no line and you can get in and out a lot quicker. And like, I got attacked. Like, I got all my, like, most of my videos were taken down because I was being mass reported by conservatives for having a different opinion. Like, I was not allowed to sit here and say, and my point was, so you're going to tell me that a full grown, big, huge man is going to walk past hundreds of people in a store into a bathroom that's crowded and secretly sexually assault a woman and nobody's going to notice? Like, that's stupid to even think of. And if you're not worried about the trans boy or the trans man using a men's room with a bunch of grown men that are huge, then you really don't care about it. You're just exploiting sexual assault to prove your point, which is exactly what you complain about the liberals doing in the pro-choice, pro-life argument. So it's like, but it's like, it's from both sides. Like, if you're a conservative, you have to love Trump. You have to do this. You have to like this. You have to have this specific opinion. And it's the same on the other side. But it's like, why can't we just have all of it? Like, I can have different opinions about different things. Like, I don't just like give up my conservative card because I dislike Trump. I hate Trump. I think he was a terrible president. But it's like people are just like, well, you can't say that you're a conservative. I was like, well, I'm libertarian, but like, you can't have those values. Like, you can't be in our club because you don't like Trump. Right. And it's like, I don't want to be in your club to begin with. But I also have a ton of friends that know I don't support Trump and that I hate Trump, and actually ask my opinion why, because my opinion is important. My bestie.
Got Sublime stuck in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, I love Trump, and the reason why I did is because he threw a cog right into this whole mess. Clinton was supposed to be president again, and
Yeah.
Josh, chill out. Tapping.
You have a good microphone and it picks up everything, right, Josh?
Yeah. Oh, well, now I do. Thank you for letting me know.
But yeah, she thought she was owed everything. So, and then Trump came in. He showed everybody that, if you don't do what you're supposed to do. I mean, Biden showed everybody if you stay in your basement and let the other guy talk and ramble that, you can win. But she didn't do anything, and then Trump, did the work. He won, and then he kind of showed the entire world how garbage these people are. And people, it's funny because you hear people go, well, Trump had the Republicans had the House and the Senate for 4 years, and they didn't through 2 years, and they didn't do anything. They didn't like the man. They didn't want anything to do with him. He was calling Marco Rubio Little Marco. He was no.
I do miss the nicknames, though. I will admit that.
Yeah.
No frills Jeb or whatever it was. Like, it was just like he was just calling these people out on their nonsense. He claimed that was it Marco Rubio's dad killed Kennedy, and he might have been right, to be honest with you. Apparently the FBI, now the files came out.
To the CIA, not the FBI.
Yeah, CIA.
So he could have been just like throwing that out there, but he just threw a cog in it, and we saw how garbage and how full of shit they all are. They all are full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I liked him, because he just showed us all the nonsense. And even if he didn't get rid of some people, and because I think he was trying to be more liked than anything, which was his downfall, and he didn't shut his mouth.
Yep.
He was just too narcissistic.
Yeah, he was, but he wasn't in the fact that, he was, because he thought he was the best at everything.
He was
everything.
Trump water. I got the best McDonald's. I got the best Burger King ever.
I should know.
The goat.
But it's like, but he did show you, like, these people were just all in it together. They're all garbage, and they all just want their own pockets filled, And I was just like, wait a minute, fucking Donald Trump won.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the career politicians.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny
Them
because
and the bureaucrats, like all the unelected bureaucrats and all the people, like Soros, he's part of the deep state swamp and all that shit. And he's not even in our government.
well, I
Dude,
remember,
why is he not locked up? I'm sorry, Kelly. Why is he not locked up?
It's
Who knows?
Crazy.
he should be.
Well, I remember the night that he got elected, I told my sister, I was like, I'm not even watching. Clinton won. It's fixed. They already know. And I remember her texting me. She's like, you better turn the news on because I think he's actually going to win. And and it's like the best video I've ever seen is a compilation. I suck at words. Of all the liberals flipping out when it was announced that he won, like all of the CNN and everything, just like, this is not happening. But and I supported him at first. I supported him all the way through until I think January 6th was when I was finally like, this guy, he doesn't have our best interest. He cares about Trump and only Trump. But when he won, he did expose what he has determined is the swamp. But do we actually know that they are the swamp and that all of the things he exposed is the swamp? Like, I feel like he could have done a lot more that he chose not to do. And
I kind of think so as well, to be honest, because I've said that to quite a few people. He didn't clean no swamp. Like, he kind of added to it in ways.
And he became the swamp. And it's like, you can make the argument that, well, he was going to do it in his second term. Well, why didn't he do it in between election night and the inauguration? Because that's 2 months that he could have done a whole lot of stuff, but he didn't. The only thing he declassified for the public to see was how they spied on his campaign. Like, I don't give a shit. We already knew that.
Right.
So why haven't you declassified all of this other stuff that, I mean, even looking at the Twitter files that are coming out now, he could have shown so much, but at the end of the day, he only cares about himself. He does not care about the American people.
No, I don't think so either, to be honest.
What? Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Van Jones is
know.
they're all garbage. They're all just like puppets. They're all just puppets that just like, you know, they just go, hey, how much you going to give me? Sounds good. Yeah, I'll take what was the guy's name who ran CNN? Whatever. Anyway, they all bowed down to him and they sucked him dry.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So I got a question for you, Kelly. What about January 6th that you didn't like?
I think that he's to blame for it. He knew what was happening and he knew what people were planning and he didn't care. He did the rally anyway. And just because he got up and said, go home peacefully, it was too little too late. It wasn't peaceful. And I mean, I know there's a lot of things around it. The doors were unlocked. People were invited in. And I mean, all of that didn't have to happen. Like, why did he do the rally? He knew that this was being planned. And the convictions of the Proud Boys showing that it was being planned, he knew that, but he didn't care. He needs to get himself in front of a microphone. And then to sit here I think it was January 8th when they finally banned his account off of Twitter. I'm not going to the inauguration. Like, you should, because Joe Biden is constitutionally the president. Show some fucking respect. I don't have to like the guy, but respect that fact. So it was like everything just started to, I was just like, yeah, no, I don't like him. But every time I looked at him, I was reminded of my father, who's like a psychopath, like the way he would sit like this. And it was all about loyalty. And if you weren't loyal to him, he would trash you. I think he's going around trashing DeSantis now. And it's just like, if you don't follow along behind him, then you're the swamp. And it's like, okay, but the swamp is not defined as people that do not support Donald Trump.
But
true.
So here's the thing. Like, he did ask for what was it? The National Guard to be there, and they told him, no, we'll take care of it. There's only so much that he could do as president.
But he didn't have to do the rally. If he didn't do the rally, then maybe they wouldn't have been there.
Which is kind of true, to be honest.
And I know somebody that was there at the rally that day, and she said it was the most bizarre thing that the crowd,
because it was full of feds.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
And the crowd's living up to it, because she makes T-shirts for a living, and I can't remember, but it was something making fun of Biden. And she's like, oh, I can't show up with anything saying Biden because I'll be beaten. And I'm like, what? That's not what we are. Like, who are these people at these rallies? And she said, like, the whole atmosphere had changed in the weeks leading up to it. But this is what was so strange. It wasn't just Trump that was supposed to go down to the Capitol. Giuliani, his kids, I think Sidney Powell, like a bunch of people, but none of them made it down there. And he was like, all right, let's go. We're going to march down there. Got in just calmly into the limo and then went back to the White House. Like, he knew exactly what was going to happen. He knew it was happening. So why did he still instruct everybody to go down there?
So that when he said that, there was already people in there. It happened.
Right.
It was
the time.
By the time. So yeah, I was there. Me and my wife were at the rally.
Yeah, but he knew he knew that there was an attack already happening. So why instruct people to go where an attack was happening?
Once again, he said that before. He said that.
I thought that was before.
Yeah, it started happening.
It started happening. Everything started happening before he did all that. There were agitators in there, and the thing that I find funny is, like, they're like, oh, look at all these people with Trumps and all this stuff. Every inch of that place was covered by people selling Trump merch. There was actually also that one guy who was on CNN, I forget his name. he planned a BLM rally that same day. So he had a rally going on the same day with all the Antifa, I don't know, BLM or Antifa. He had a rally there that morning. So, and Trump also asked for the people to come, and they were the National Guard, and they said they were taking care of it. And they told them, Miriam Bowser said, we don't want that.
Correct.
So look, should he have had the rally? I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe he shouldn't have. But then again, you know, it was kind of his farewell. And by the time he got
it wasn't his farewell. The whole point of the rally was to stop the steal. It was to get him to interrupt everything and to get people to challenge the election so that way he could actually have won the election. It wasn't his final farewell. It had nothing to do with him saying goodbye to his supporters.
That was the last rally he had before the election.
Yeah, but it was
after the election.
It was just for stopping the steal.
It was after the election. The election was in November. This was in January.
Before
the inauguration.
Before the inauguration, you know. But I mean, listen, stupid people will do stupid things, and I'm not saying that it wasn't a stupid thing for people to do. But like me and my wife were there, and first of all, it was cold. It was freezing. So we left early.
What'd you expect?
Yeah, but it said it was going to be 40 degrees, and it ended up being like 30, and it was almost snowing. And let me tell you, there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of people. And one thing that people don't know, there was no service. You got no phone service there. So anybody who was trying to communicate with each other, you couldn't do it. You couldn't communicate or anything like that. So I think the people who already had it in their head to do something were already going to do something. It didn't.
But I mean, are you gonna sit here and say that he had absolutely no idea that people were planning on storming inside of the Capitol to stop what was happening?
I don't know. I'm not him.
I mean, this is the president of the United States.
It's also a narcissist.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is
it was all about him. Like, so he didn't. I don't think he really had in his head that people were going to go inside. I just, like you said, he's a narcissist. So it's all about him, and he was like, yeah, this is, you know, and it wasn't about like people going and doing that. The election was going to be overturned the day that all the propaganda floating around.
Yeah. And they still think it's going to be overturned.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
When people still like Trump's in charge, and I'm like, you want to blame all this on him? Are you out of your mind?
Can you tell him to lower the gas prices a bit?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yep.
Can you tell him to lower the price of eggs for the love of?
I know when people are like, they're still like, trust the plan. I'm like, this is the worst plan ever, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Worst fucking plan ever.
This is like, listen, this is like a failed bank robbery.
Yeah, for real, man.
It's like you get in there and all of a sudden one guy shoots the other. You're like, now what do we do?
Yeah, and your getaway driver has a fucking Geo Metro from back in the day. Like, God damn.
He's got a DeLorean. Before people in it. Did you even think about this? Well, I figured we'd go back to the future. Are you stupid?
Going back in time.
We're not even going to hit 28 in this. Do you think we're going to hit 88 in this thing? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, it's still, they're making a bigger thing out of this than they did the day of Trump's inauguration. They're making a bigger thing out of it, like the whatchamacallit, the summer of love and all this peaceful protesting while fires are burning behind people. You know, it's like, wait a minute. Yeah. But they'll form a committee for people who went into in all honesty, it's the people's house, you know. And
exactly.
I get, you know, it's not personal businesses. It's this is what we pay.
I mean, come on, to steal Nancy Pelosi's laptop and the stadium, that went too far. It was like at that point where I was starting to be like, yeah, no, this isn't right.
They were, if you watched it, because I watched this, most of the people were actually staying in between the velvet lines. You know what I mean? And it was like, and not for nothing, what happened during the Kavanaugh trial? Like, they were in there, they were trying to break down the house. Fiery but mostly peaceful. Yeah, fiery but mostly peaceful. I mean, during the Kavanaugh thing, they were trying to break down the doors of the Supreme Court. And I mean, they were actually going to Supreme Court justices' houses and which is against the law. But like, I mean, I get it. What happened January 6th was a stupid thing because you just gave them all the ammunition they needed for it, and nobody should have, done anything. But, I honestly think that people weren't, once again, out of the hundreds of thousands, because it was, that place was packed. Out of all those people, there was a couple hundred people that actually did something stupid. And once again, the cops are just letting people in. There's videos of people telling the cops, stop this guy from kicking into this, kicking in that, and the cops aren't doing anything about it. But then you keep hearing that all these people died, and Ashley Babbitt's the only one that was actually killed that day, and everybody's just like, well, she got what she deserved. It's like, what?
Right.
Like, come on, guys. Like, I mean, it was a stupid thing, but like, you're gonna sit there and tell us that Ashley Babbitt got what she deserved, and then January, like I said, I have a different perspective because we were there and we saw all the stuff that was going on. Except we didn't, like I said, we didn't go. We were driving home, and a friend of mine's like, "Dude, are you in the White House?" And I'm like, "Huh?"
In the White House.
I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, they broke into the White House." I'm like, what did they do?" He's like, "Yeah, we turn on the radio and the news, and they had gone in all that stuff." And I'm like, "Wow, like, no, dude, we're like an hour or two away. We're gone." It was freezing. We were cold, but yeah, I guess I have a different perspective. And there were people.
Yeah, but do you think if Trump said that he was canceling the rally due to a national security threat, that you would have gone?
I don't. Well, if he was canceling the rally, we would have gone.
That's what my point is.
But
he knew that it was going to happen, and he did the rally anyways.
But even if he didn't hold the rally, I guarantee.
But then they couldn't have blamed him, and they couldn't have blamed his supporters.
They would have still said Trump was supposed to hold the rally. He didn't hold the rally, but his supporters still came down. And
but it would have been they would have just been saying that as opposed to.
It would have been
involved in saying that's like her kind of point. And,
it would have been an idea. It wouldn't have been factual.
Yeah, it would have been an idea like Antifa, according to Nadler.
I just, it's something, like I said, it's something that I see a different perspective of it because being there, in the lawn. I'm gonna keep saying I wasn't in there. I was in the lawn, being on the lawn. It was so weird because there was no reception.
Better answer that, Davey.
But it was so funny. Like as soon as you got like 2 miles out, all your service came back. But while you were there, nothing. It was just this whole little place.
Because they were pinging everybody's phone, making sure that they got everybody's fucking location, and you ain't got no service, but they know where you're at. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
to put it lightly.
No. I mean, he did shit himself a couple times.
Right.
And he looks like what's that egg? What the hell is that egg?
Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah, he looks like Humpty Dumpty. Dude, I did not know how like
Humpty Dumpty wasn't even an egg. They've never confirmed that.
Right.
I just want to throw that out there.
Body.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, but it's just the whole thing of the way the news spins it. It's just you got to stop listening to the news and do your own research and see what's going on and see what. And Tim Pool, I love that show. Tim Pool, he's got such different takes on things, and he just tells people, yeah, this is what we did, this is what we did, this is what we're doing, and whatnot. But he's like, yeah, the New York Post will send out 6 different headlines, and whatever headline gets the most clicks, that's the one we'll put out. So if the headline is, well, Trump does a backflip on Sunday, and then the other headline is Trump lied and said he did a backflip on Sunday. If Trump lied and said he did a backflip on Sunday, that's what they'll run with. And then they'll go, well, and in the article, they'll go, well, this is what actually happened. And people will just go, well, do you see Trump's a liar? He said he did a backflip on Sunday and he didn't. Did you read the article? Well, no. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. No, you didn't. Okay, what does it say in this section then? Well, it says that Trump's a liar. Well, I guess you won there, bingo.
Yeah, man. Yep. So, oh yeah, update. Did you guys know that Trump got reinstated on Facebook and Instagram too?
I heard they were going to. I didn't know that they actually had.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
I don't understand why he's not going to do anything. He wants his social whatever. What is it? Truth Social.
Yeah, Truth Social.
But I think it's in preparation of the Gonzalez versus Google case that the Supreme Court's going to decide here, which is going to bring the Section 230 law into question.
Okay.
I mean, if you notice, there is a lot of changes going on throughout all of the social media platforms, because it's going to be a game changer if they can be held legally responsible for what people put onto their platforms.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what changed, but all of a sudden I gained 800 new followers on Facebook in 2 days.
Nice.
It was the weirdest thing. I have over 1.4K followers on Facebook, and like 3 or 4 days ago,
all them Nigerian princes about to be asking for money.
Listen, but it's called Gonzalez's, Rodriguez. I put up one Spanish reel, and all of a sudden, all the Spanish people come out of the woodworks, and it's like, guys, there's more stuff, Spanish stuff on my. Yeah. I called Spanish women crazy, and all the guys are like, "Yep, you're right." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I'm right. I just said it out loud."
They're like, "Follow this guy."
This guy says what we want to say, but we can't because our wife is going to kick our ass. Yeah, no shit. She sleeps with a knife under her bed, fat fellas. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, man, is your wife Spanish, there, Josh?
No, she's Caucasian.
What are you?
I'm half black and half Hispanic.
What kind of Hispanic? You say Dominican, and I'm Xing out of this thing.
Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, usually it's the other way around, right? Everybody.
So you're half black and half Olympian, as we'd say.
There you go.
That was a joke started by our friend Abel, who is Mexican, and he called his mother an Olympian.
Oh, really?
It was just, I was like, oh my God. And he just said it like it was nothing.
That was hilarious.
It was just going on, and it clicked in my head, and I went, oh my God. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, I mean, does your one half hate the other half?
Oh, no. Well, not now, because she said, if I knew you were
no, I'm talking about the black and Mexican. Does the black half hate the Mexican half?
Oh, no.
Now your Caucasian wife.
Yeah.
Your Caucasian wife knows both of you.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
Oh man, but yeah,
man,
everybody asked me how come I didn't marry a Spanish woman. I'm like, I spent 22 years with 2 of them. That's 44 years. That's enough.
Yeah, you're like, I probably have only 20 years left of life. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make sure I live it. Live it. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna make sure I get a hot oil bath one day.
Right?
For looking at somebody accidentally.
How many flip-flops have you been hit with?
Oh, all of them. At one point, I looked like I was sponsored by Nikes, Adidas, and Chancla. Oh man, I remember one time my mom didn't beat me. My mom didn't beat me too much, but
too much.
But one time she put her engagement ring in my forehead, and I went to school, and the next day they came and they called diapers on my mom, and they're like, so what happened? I was like, I was misbehaving, and I had to be corrected, and they're just like, they were looking at me like, you just saying this nonchalantly? I'm like, yeah, and I was acting up. My mom just decided that it was time to put her engagement ring in my forehead, and that was it. And then my mom starts crying, and when she's talking to the principal and diapers, and she's crying, and she gets in the car, and I don't want to beat you, but I will again if I have to. I was like, where was this lady 3 seconds ago? What happened? How did this? What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. No.
I'm like, oh my God. My mom's funny though. My mom would literally be crying in 1 second, screaming and yelling and arguing, and then her friends will call on the phone, and she'll be like, "Hi, Donna. How are you?" I'm like, "What the is going on? What
I feel
happened?
that very
What happened?
deeply.
What happened? You were just crying and yelling and screaming, and now all of a sudden Donna calls and you're like, "Hi, Donna. How you doing?" And I'm like, "Ooh."
So when you
man.
realized your mom's crazy.
Until I realized mental illness is a real thing that runs in my family, but only if you don't have a wiener. I've told my daughter since she was like a little kid. I'm like, listen, you're gonna battle with mental illness, but you have some of me in there, so it's probably gonna mellow you out eventually. Oh, goodness gracious. See, I told you, Josh, we will start on your wokeness and somehow end up in my mom beating me.
Hey, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
But yeah, I just, all this wokeness stuff, and it's funny because these people just make all this money off of these people.
Mhm.
Yep.
In this woke, like I don't know if you've seen this one guy, Genty or something, King of Genty or something like that. He will literally be in his lives like, "Yo, people, hit up the Cash App, hit up the Cash App, yo, hit up the Cash App, hit up that Cash App, son. We got to buy a house, hit up the Cash App, make sure you." I'm like, dude, is that what you really do? Like, you just sit online and beg people for money?
Yeah.
Why? Like, how could you, like, we're making shirts and we're like, yeah, how much should we charge? Like,
Right.
That'll cover the delivery. That'll cover, like, us for delivery. And if we lose a couple dollars, who cares? It says, like, and these people are just sitting there just like, this white people are this, white people are that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
and it's like they'll have a thing behind them that says white people are inherently racist. And then they're like, well, you can't say white tea.
Right.
It's
well,
like,
and they'll probably talk shit about capitalism too, but yet be like, hit that Cash App, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
As I'm sitting here on my iPhone or my Samsung, the kids that
That's my favorite, when they're screaming about fascism and you can see like the back of their brand new iPhone.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
right.
And then it's, oh, well, we're supporting Nike because we're fighting fascism. Like,
Yeah, but
what?
you support fucking child labor. Yeah, makes sense. That's like that whole thing where Greta got set up for that arrest. That was a total fucking setup.
Oh,
Mike
God,
Boom and
yeah.
everything. And she was wearing a fucking that handbag and it was straight Nike, like right on the side. Be like, if you want to go protest over there for the killing the fucking the Uyghurs and all that, and doing the most amount of fucking pollution period out of everybody, but yeah, you want to be over here. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, did you see that? That makes me, yeah.
Everything she does makes you facepalm.
It should be that Naked Gun 33 1/3 where everybody just slaps their head all at once. That's what it should be. It's like, really. And it's funny, if you watch that interview she was at the WEF, and the Rebel News was asking her questions and she wasn't answering. And she's like, well, and it's like,
they pick
I
their
shouldn't talk to you.
spokespersons. I mean, look at David Hogg. Why is he still talking?
Right.
Like, he said in the recent ones that happened in California, he's like, I don't even know what to say. And I just commented on Twitter, I'm like, does this mean you're finally going to stop talking? Because nobody really cares what you have to say. Like, you are making a huge career and getting famous off the backs of classmates of yours that passed away. You're not a good person when you do that.
Right.
But they have their spokespersons, and whether they're paid or not is irrelevant. I don't know if half of them are, but it's like everybody just clings to it. And you even see that on TikTok. Like, I see it on my account all the time. Like, people are constantly tagging certain creators in almost every one of my videos. It's so bad that I have like the filter set up of the @ symbol, because I'm just like, I don't need this person to review a video about my story just because they're the expert, and it's on both sides. They have their spokespeople.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, the WEF is a joke and full of hypocrites, because the people who are talking about global warming and climate change. Sorry, I'm a kid of the 80s. We knew it as global warming. When Australia had a whole.
Wasn't it like supposed to be like in like the year 2000 that like Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Great Britain was supposed to be like underwater or some shit by
Well, that's
now.
like I was telling my husband, like I was talking about the doomsday clock because Tim Pool said he wanted to do turtle races, and I made a joke on Twitter because I have 8 turtles, and I was like, I am so offended. Turtles are actually very fast, and it's not right to have this stigma that they're slow. But I'm just kidding. I really want my turtles to race in your race because I want them to be famous. But people took me seriously. I'm like, do you really think I'm fucking offended that you think a turtle is slow? Like, is that where we are right now?
Oh yeah, everything is so just like hypersensitized. It's like all of that
Fuck LeBron
and
James, babe. Why'd you have to bring him up?
fucking everything is just like you can't even like joke about anything anymore.
No.
Like that's what I said the other day on Facebook. The people who feel the need to explain a fucking joke or a meme are the worst. Like stop being anti-funny. Stop it. Stop it.
And then on top of this, speaking of LeBron James, I want to bring that comment back up.
Oh, I hate LeBron James. Babe, I hate you for this.
I mean, how are you gonna blame racial injustice and you freaking multi-millionaire person player?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
who's a jackass and can't play basketball?
Exactly. He passes out when he's too hot.
Right. I think I've seen him cry more than my fucking daughter. Like no joke.
I'm a huge Celtics fan. And it's funny though, because like on Twitter, whenever I talk shit about LeBron James, they're like, you're a racist. I'm like, no, I'm a Celtics fan. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, so what, us Celtics fans we're exempt from being racist for hating him. But no, and that's the thing. It's like, even with Colin Kaepernick, like he's
whoa. With who? With who? Say that one more time. With who?
What's going on?
Stop making fun of
you
the way
said Colin Kaepernick?
Yes.
That's right.
Colin Kaepernick. Anyway, but it's like everyone is like, he's supposed to stand up for all the social injustice and he gets to the people. The man turned down a $900,000 for 1 year contract because he couldn't live off of that. Do you know what I could do with 900 grand in a year?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and it's everyone just like is drawn to these people just because they say exactly what they want them to say.
Right.
As long as they're saying what they want to say, they'll support them. And the other side, like the right does it too. But it's like, so he's so against how minorities are treated, but he's the spokesperson for Nike with child labor in China. Like, really?
But that's why he didn't take the 900,000 or whatever it was. Everybody, and that's the thing is, I'm always like, just wait. Let's just wait to see what happens. And everybody rushes to, racism, this and that, and this and that. That piece of shit got a $40 million contract from Nike the entire time he wasn't in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So everybody was claiming that he was poor and not making any money. He was a garbage quarterback and
don't forget his jerseys sales went like, I mean, they were sold out everywhere. Every time his face was on a magazine or in the news, he got money for that. Mm-hmm. He made a lot of money for being a crybaby bitch that can't play football. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's not getting signed. But as long as he's saying the right things, everybody's going to. Yeah, exactly, babe. Yeah. It's like because he played with the Niners and my husband is a Seahawks fan and that's like our rival.
That's my wife.
A Seahawks fan?
Yeah.
Smart woman.
A nice Seahawks jacket.
But it's like, I remember like he was benched and that's why he sat on the bench because he was a little bitch and was upset that he was benched and then turned it into this whole thing. And then now nobody's going to sign them. But even Steve Carroll from the Seahawks came out and said he wants a starting salary to not be a starting quarterback. Yeah. Had he taken had he taken the contract and actually humbled himself with the Seahawks, Russell Wilson got hurt that year. He could have played a lot and showed the skills that he apparently has, but he doesn't. But it's like, even when he sat down with the Ravens, God, I
His
can't remember
girlfriend.
what his name was. It was fighting for them to sign him. And then his girlfriend tweets that out. But it's like, he's not with the NFL because he spoke about this and he spoke about that. It's like, no,
Well,
he's
did you
not with the NFL because he sucks and he
Yep.
thinks he's starter quality and he's not starter quality. It has nothing to do with what he's doing, what he's doing off the field, or how he looks. He sucks.
Yeah.
Well, did you see what his girlfriend tweeted out?
Yeah. The Django thing.
Yeah. The Django thing. Yeah. So like, you know, and it's just like you're a shitty quarterback. So and that's all he did. He knew he was going to be junk, and then all of a sudden he went, "This is what's
Not going to be."
Money.
He was.
Yeah. He was junk, and he knew that it was coming up to the end of his run. Yeah. He led San Francisco to a Super Bowl that year. I mean, listen.
Not that year. The year before.
Was it? No. Well, yeah. No. He
Yeah.
led them to the Super Bowl. He thought he was worth, X amount of dollars. Turns out the next year he wasn't that good. And then, they benched him. And then he was just like, okay, what can I make? Oh, this is what I can make money on. And the social justice warrior thing just was popping off then. So he made money. And then Nike signs him. Nobody knows about Nike signing him. It was hush hush until 2 years later or something it was. And then it comes out that he's made $40 million from Nike. And everybody was just like, well, he deserves it. He deserves it for what?
Please tell me who deserves $40 million. Please,
and then Nike signs him.
Please tell me what quarterback deserves a multi-million-dollar contract, like hundreds of millions of dollars over like 5 years. Some of them get. Why? Because they can throw a ball. My son can throw a ball. Please send us $150 million.
But
But it's like we're really supposed to believe that these people understand what it's like to be working class people and that they have our best interest at heart, and they get it, but they don't because they're making millions of dollars.
Well, it's bread and circus. It's just we keep like you said, focusing it on these motherfuckers that don't even care about you or know you exist. To be honest.
No, and it's even the same with Congress. It's like they just tell you what you want to hear so they can have your vote.
Right.
Because if they actually truly cared, then once they had that vote, they would do something with it, but they're not.
Well, I want to know where was these riots and all this stuff in the last couple of years, right before the midterms. Oh,
right.
All of a sudden it was quiet.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
people had the House and Senate and presidency, and then
like this whole McCarthy thing, like she was saying, like it's nice that McCarthy got in. He's saying all this nice stuff, but it's nothing but a prop up game.
No,
You think they're gonna do this shit if they get everything in 24? You think they're gonna really push these bills that they're trying to do right now that sound so great? No, they're not going to.
All they did was give the Senate a vacation, because all they're going to do is they're going to try to pass these bills. The only thing they can really do is just stop funding certain things because they control the money. But like certain bills that they vote on, the Senate's not going to vote on. And
yeah, exactly.
Even if it gets to the president's not going to vote yes on it. Well, unless somebody tells them to do it.
And that's what I was saying. The Republicans are going to do exactly what everyone complained that the Democrats were doing and try to pass all these bills knowing that it's dead in the water in the Senate, or if it magically makes it through the Senate, that the president isn't even going to sign them. So what's the point?
Yeah, it's just, we tried. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's all about votes.
Yeah. Oh, guys, look, this is what we did. We did this. We did that. We tried. But, it just failed. We need to put our money behind this. I'm glad the Republicans only won by a slim margin, because McCarthy thought that he was just going to become the speaker. He Hillary Clinton did. He thought that this red wave was coming and everybody was going to vote Republican, and he was going to have this hands down. And when he didn't, and the Freedom Caucus went, now go fuck yourself. And then he was just like,
did you see the guy like try to physically attack Matt Gaetz on the floor?
That was funny.
The best thing about it, though, is Bad Lips Reading's version of
it. It's just hilarious.
Someone got that to play that because it's just hysterical. I'd like to see it again.
I could pull it up. I could try and pull it up. But
it's like, why are you physically attacking someone else in Congress just because he won't vote for McCarthy?
Well, I mean it shows you that, it shows you, once again, the swamp of those people who took 14 ballots. Yeah, it just shows you, the swamp. And to be honest with you, I voted well, I didn't vote, but my vote was for Sam Darnold. Like, I was like, yeah, get Sam Darnold. And it's not Sam Darnold. Oh my
Let's say
God.
the fucking
Oh,
the quarterback.
Byron Donald.
Byron,
Byron Donald from Florida. I think he's from Florida.
Yeah.
Byron Donald. I'm like, that dude. Before that guy got in, I was watching all his stuff, and that dude is a rock star. I would vote for that dude for president in a heartbeat.
They should have
Yes,
one,
exactly.
They should have that one Kennedy as Speaker of the House. That guy is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
From Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's it, Robert Kennedy? I forget. Is that his
Robert
first
Kennedy.
name?
I don't know.
You're
I just
right.
know it was Kennedy.
The
You're
dude
right.
is hilarious.
So what you're telling me here is that if you don't know how to use a dictionary, you want to become a Supreme Court justice? How does that
Oh
work?
my God. Did you see the thing that they did with Ticketmaster and like all of them were quoting Taylor Swift songs?
No, I didn't see them quoting Taylor Swift songs, but
They all were, yeah, they were all quoting Taylor Swift songs. I'm like, what in the fuck are they doing? I mean, like, this was a serious
That's
situation,
hilarious.
and we're just gonna quote Taylor Swift on the Congress floor. It's a joke.
Like up on Congress, like as Taylor Swift said, "Look, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem."
I'm the problem. It's me. I know. My daughter's like, "Are you proud that I got Taylor Swift tickets?" No. She's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Because it's fucking Taylor Swift." She's like, "But she's amazing." No, she's not.
Hey Kelly, you wanted to talk about identity politics?
Yeah.
Or
So
you wanna get
it's
Hold
like-
on, I got the video. Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah, let's show the
Okay,
video.
hold on. There's a couple of good ones.
Awkward silence.
Josh, share.
Right.
Oh shoot! Yeah, there you go. Okay, awesome.
Josh, give me your password. I'll run this thing.
Hey, you already are my friend. No, you're good, man.
Put me on the team.
Damn.
A really rich doctor said you were a bummer, and I think you don't know algebra. No, we're talking science, bud. The science of what? Is that a tiger? One of your friends promised me I could flick you in your face. Absolutely, you may not do that. Say any cereal name. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You're like people in the 12th century. Why do you say it like that? You're a formulated pickle popper.
He's a storm cloud.
I don't like you, dude. And there's a tiger. That's it. You two guys sent the tiger.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Brad?
I'm a horrible person.
Brad, I'll report you to Nadine. I just want your leg bones to be okay. I brought the tiger. You got somebody on the organ now? Hey man, you're gonna pay for dinner. You're gonna pay.
What the?
A really rich doctor said you were a
I like this
bummer.
other one too.
I think
this one's.
You're
this
gonna
one's-
pay for.
Oh yeah, this is a good one too.
Who brought the tiger?
Vain guy.
you should see my car.
Stank suit.
Check out my frown. It's a jumbled code.
Marvelous. Bees unwashed knees.
Nah, it's just bee's knees. And can you mention that we changed it?
You just did. Chevy dude.
Penguins.
Good point. Tab euphoria. I'm not lonely.
I'm not low.
Is it? Latool. Don't care for Latool. Pink ghosting. I got plenty of guacamole in the business office. I'm starving. Vain guy.
But see, this is what I say to my husband all the time. I was like, you know, the thing is between like conservatives and liberals cry and conservatives make memes. Like when something bad happens, we just make memes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we can say that like people on our side are bad and like have disagreements about it.
Mhm.
On the other side, it's just like they just go ham, and then if you don't agree, they start to like cast you out. Like they called
yeah.
Tim Pool a speaker for the right. It's like, dude, that
He's
dude,
not.
that
No, he's
dude,
like libertarian, more left leaning, to be
yeah,
honest.
Yeah.
he was at Occupy Wall Street. That's where he got his start. He went to Sweden when they were talking about no-go zones. You know, and that dude, he put in the work. He deserves everything he gets. He put in the work. He's still putting in the work. He's got great ideas. But that dude is so middle. Like sometimes you want to strangle him, and sometimes you want to
Yeah.
hug him.
There's sometimes I want to be like, just make a decision, man.
Oh, I just noticed Josh has Nike boxes like on display above his head.
Yeah.
Josh likes child labor.
Oh, you're muted.
See, he couldn't even defend himself.
Oh no, this is my son's room, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But no, about the identity politics is I mean, I'm sure it was happening before Obama's term, but that's really when social media was kicking off. And when I started paying attention, that's when me and my husband got married and he was in the military. So like you kind of have to pay attention to a lot of things with politics when you're in the military. But it's like I feel like it was just this idea that was created to divide. And first, it divided the right and the left from each other. But now it's creating division within the parties. I mean, like I said before, like, yeah, I don't like Trump, so I have to give over my conservative card. Like, I can't support anything because I don't like Trump. But it's like my daughter, she voted for people, and I'm not going to say who she voted for, but she voted just because she had no idea what their like platform was about, what their ideas were, anything, but just because she had to, because she's LGBT. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also turned into the thing like everyone always says, like, do you really think like 84 or 87,000 or million people voted for Biden? No, I don't. But I do think 87 million voted against Trump. And that's like what it kind of turned into is like people, when they're going to the ballot box, they're not voting for people, they're voting against people. And you can't do that. And it's like, even with this midterms, the entire Democrat platform was, well, don't vote for the Republicans because they're against this and they're against that. And they're going to, because like with the debt ceiling, what they're doing now is they want to stop these constant, go after the discretionary funds that are never monitored, and it's just constant, the same thing. And since Social Security and Medicaid fall into these funds, oh, well, the Republicans want to go after Social Security and Medicare. It's like, they didn't say that. They didn't say they want to stop it. They just want to monitor it. Yeah. But it's like, people are voting against Republicans because of that. And it's like, but it is both sides, you know, people, I don't think a lot of people really wanted to vote Trump back in, but they did not want to vote for Biden. So it's like, there is an in between. And I mean, like the first election with Trump and Clinton, there was, I want to say it was 18,000 people voted for Harambe, the gorilla that was killed. And they were write-ins. And it's just like, these
kind of awesome.
Like these aren't our only options. Like if like I didn't vote in Obama McCain because I didn't like either. I thought they were both jackasses and I didn't want either of them, but I wasn't going to vote for McCain because I lean right. And at the time I was a lot more conservative than I am now, but it's like, that's what identity politics is doing, is it's turning into dividing the country. It's changing the way people vote and how they approach the ballot box. And now it's causing division within the parties. Like you have the moderate Democrats and the left-wing extremists, and you have the moderate conservatives and the crazy MAGA Republicans. And I'm talking the ones that think Trump is still running and is going to be reinstated, and that the 335 members of Congress are going to be removed, like those ones. But it's like they've created extremes, but at the end of the day, it's the identity politics that's doing it. And like I said, I started noticing it with Obama. I'm sure it started happening before that, but
I think it's
I ran
It
out of
started
breath.
kind of with that beer summit with the cop and the guy who from Harvard, when Obama was president. Remember that the guy from Harvard was trying to get into his house and the cop thought that he was robbing the house, and Obama made them have a beer together. And, that's kind of when I think most of that stuff started happening for identity politics. But, the funny part about it is, isn't that what the Fabulous Four, whatever they're called, AOC and all them.
Oh, the squad.
The squad. Weren't they against Nancy Pelosi?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
didn't they say that they didn't want to vote for Nancy Pelosi? And then what happened?
They voted for Nancy Pelosi.
They slid them that envelope and they told them, shut up and vote for Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. And because the Republicans the Freedom Caucus decided that they weren't going to go for McCarthy, it all of a sudden, you see this shit show? Oh, the Republicans are all divided. No, these people, a lot of people don't want all this nonsense still. They want this stuff to change.
Yeah.
We need something to change. We can't have the same thing over. There's 8 or 10 politicians that were born before 1945.
Mm-hmm. Grassley's like the one that's been in office the longest.
No, there's one lady that was born in 1935.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She should not be serving still.
No. I don't even want her walking.
But wait, wasn't Biden in the Senate for 120 years?
Yeah.
I think he was the longest.
And he was running for Senate too at one point when he was, running for president. What they're doing to this man
it's elder abuse.
Crime.
Yeah.
It's a crime. The man is shaking hands and asking for dead people.
And yelling at signs that are in his way.
Yeah, and telling people don't jump for God knows what reason.
But yeah, the thing with identity politics is, like you said, your daughter, she had to vote a certain way because she thinks that, certain people are going to take away certain things. And that's what they do with the kids. Like, they just go, yeah, listen, if you're LGBT, if you vote for this person, they're going to try to have you killed. And you're like, well, I don't want to vote for that person. I don't want to be killed. Right. So I'm going to vote this way. And if you sit there and you don't profess, and that's another thing I hate about both sides. If you don't profess who you voted for or what you did, then you're automatically the other side. And it's like, no, who'd you vote for? None of your fucking business. I voted for a tater tot. All right, that's who I voted
for Harambe.
See, but I mean, as far as voting goes, it should always be about the policies. This is what I tell my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell my kids. Look at your candidate and vote on their policies. If you align with that, then okay, you align with that. Whether it be
okay, go ahead. Sorry. I was going to say she said she was going to call because she didn't know anything about any of the candidates, but she's like, there's no electioneering allowed at the polls. I'm like, that doesn't count in calling your mother.
Right.
Right.
Like calling your mother doesn't count.
Listen, I mean, Kamala Harris was sitting there just handing out waters and not doing anything else, which is illegal. 500, right across from a polling place, which is illegal. But, I mean, you can call your mom and say, hey, Mom, who should I pull for? What do you think is a good candidate?
I'm like, you voted for someone that's brain dead. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing. Like, if she were to tell her friends, like, if her friends were to ask, oh, who'd you vote for? And she just went, I don't want to tell you. They'd all, who'd you vote? You voted for Trump, didn't you? No. Well, then tell us who you voted for.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to. No, so you voted for Trump then. That's it. You voted. And it's like, no, I voted for Biden. Well, good. Like you were supposed to. It's like, whoa. What do you mean I was supposed to?
Yeah, do you want to talk about fascism?
And it's like, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, then you're voting for fascism.
Listen, if you don't vote,
or you're not black.
I was dead. You beat me to it.
But my husband, he loves the Princess Bride, and he forever is saying, like, you keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. I don't know, babe. What's the quote you always say?
Yeah. I'm Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Is that what? That what it is?
No, not that one. When he kept on screaming,
No,
inconceivable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Inconceivable.
you keep using
yeah.
the word. I don't think you know what the. I don't think
It
you know
means
what
what
it
you
means.
think it means, or
Yeah.
something like that.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
I love that. I started buying old DVDs because even Tim Pool said it the other day, and I've said this for a little while. They're gonna take out stuff from movies, man, and they started to they've started to take away they took away Splash Mountain. You keep using that word. Don't think it means what you think it means.
Yes.
But they're taking out stuff from movies just because they think it's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody, I didn't know what I just thought Splash Mountain was this old ass Disney ride, and they got rid of it because it's racist from a Disney movie, and it's
but that's the whole thing. They keep trying to do the whole preparing the road for your kid instead of preparing your kids for the road fucking thing.
Yes.
And you even
that's
see
not
it.
how. That's not how it doesn't fucking happen. That's not life.
And you even see it in the military now.
Yes.
A friend of ours, he's working on helping processing people in, and someone wrote in the part where it says gender male, MAIL.
All right.
But it's my husband and I always say, the world does not adapt to you, you adapt to the world.
Yeah.
And where that is taught and instilled in children is in school, but now it's not being taught. It's being taught that the world revolves around them, and that
Right.
And even look at the definitions. They're changing the definitions of
Correct.
literally everything. And what's the point?
Well, I like how racism went from, you think you're better than another person, another race, and now it's all of a sudden it turns into, well, certain people can't be racist because it's a systematic thing.
Right.
Where does it say that?
No, it's people can't be racist because they don't have power.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the definition of white supremacy, just saying.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, but
I told you it was gonna go by quick.
Yeah, it did actually.
God, has it really been 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder I had to pee so bad.
Oh, okay. All right, give us another 10 minutes. No, but I appreciate you guys coming on. I really do. I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone, so I really appreciate it.
Can't tell it all with the.
Yeah. Listen, the more you do it, the more you do it, the easier it'll be, pal. I'm telling you.
Definitely. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now, and now I just pull out my recording equipment and just talk and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, good thing you said recording equipment, because I thought you were liberal.
So, any of y'all, any final words?
I just love how everyone in the chat's my friends and family.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right. Any last words from anybody?
Does this mean we're dissolving the group chat though? Because I really like the group chat.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to.
Just as long as Davey's not screaming about porn.
Listen, I told you.
Corn.
Don't give me any ideas, because it'll just I forget.
I should have just listened to this in Walmart, and now it's over the speakers of my truck with my kid.
Oh, man, he got me on rails though today, man. He got me on rails. I'm like, what? How do you do that?
I've never done that stuff. I just know what it smells like. Pickle whistle. But yeah, right. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for making me your second choice.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you for showing up, though. Appreciate it. Sorry about the mishaps, though.
Hey,
listen,
it went great.
Yeah, we had it was 2 hours of fun and excitement, and once again, we started at wokeness, and we ended in wokeness.
Yeah, exactly. Full circle.
Yeah.
Hey, I may start tomorrow night with
awesome.
There you go, Chris.
He's gonna do a sports one.
What?
Okay. Cool. Get a mad dog on 90.9 and
no, not like that.
And then Mike, and then you went, and then go.
No, literally, he's awesome when it comes to sports. He can figure out the playoffs and how many people need these ones. So I'm always explain it to me. I'm just just tell me, are the Phillies gonna make it?
Are the Phillies what in hockey?
That is a baseball. Are you a man?
Flyers or hockey, yeah.
Flyers are hockey. Phillies are baseball. They were in the World Series against the cheating Astros.
A man when I need to be, right? When my wife gives me my balls back. Anyway, thanks for having us. We are the business.
Go ahead, guys.
I can't even. We are the Business Party Podcast. We are on Wednesdays live on Rumble and YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. It's been a great time having us. You can find us on Instagram at Business Party Podcast, Business Party Network, Business Party Business Party News.
Yes.
On Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok and Clapper.
You're everywhere.
Did you just
stay everywhere?
Yeah.
Did you just tell me to steal third?
Maybe.
What was that?
Oh, who, me? No, I was like, follow him, man. Follow him. Give him a follow.
Yeah.
Give him a share.
But yeah, so
well, since we're using Josh to advertise our own podcast,
Go ahead.
with the Unbroken Podcast. I'm on all podcast platforms. It is Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and a bunch of ones that I've never even heard of. I'm also on TikTok as Beautiful Mistake 24, Instagram, Twitter, same thing, except it's 924 because someone stole my name. But I don't talk about politics on mine. I talk about my story of surviving sex trafficking, and it's a safe space for survivors, and we're doing a lot of good work. So I don't know what else to say, but I'm so proud of you, Josh. You made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All this anticipation for months, and we did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Okay, and
now you got to be back next Friday at 8:00.
Next Friday,
right?
I'll try to be back next Friday.
No, you got to be consistent there, buddy.
Don't listen to them. I post at anywhere between 5 and 30 days. You don't have to be consistent.
Oh, believe me, when Business Party started, that's all I was doing, like once a month, because it was just me. I was like, I don't like to just talk to myself. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
We love you, Josh.
What is your guys' favorite slogan? Love you guys too. What are you guys' favorite slogan?
You want to start it there, buddy?
Go ahead.
Everyone who says, well, it's going to be a quote, actually.
No, our slogan, pal.
No, your slogan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I was going deep on it. You guys had me thinking. God damn it. All right.
I thought son of a bitch was your slogan.
Well, that might be.
We're not at the Business Party Podcast. We are not here to change your mind. We are just here to open your mind. And
fuck the moon. We're going
to Uranus.
Woo!
I want to get chocolate wasted.
Mine is relaxed. Relax, guys. We're all crazy here. It's not a competition.
Yeah. All right. I'm your boy Twisted Josh. I'm on TikTok as Twisted Josh 44, Instagram, Liberty Death Podcast, and Clapper. I don't know if you guys heard of Clapper.
Yeah,
I'm on Clapper too. There.
I hate Clapper.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's dollar store TikTok, basically.
Yeah.
All right,
I hate all social media. Josh, you got to say that's a wrap.
Peace. That's a wrap.
You got to.
And we're still here.
Wow.
Okay. Down. Here we go.
Technic Nulties.
Dude,
Okay. It's still live.
Where? Okay, in podcast. There you go. In broadcast.